Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, I am going out fishing, but I thought I would do something different, and that is show you a little bit about what it takes to get set up to make these YouTube videos in the first place. Before I did a video a couple years ago called A Day in the Life of Angling Spiders, and I kind of went through the process, but I never really did show all of the stuff I need to do to set up to get out and get going in the first place. So that's what I wanted to do today. Now, normally I would have started with showing you me packing up everything and getting it ready, including putting the kayak up on the van. Unfortunately, I can't do that today because I got up so early to come out here that it was dark out, so I couldn't film anything. It is currently about 6:45 a.m. And when I left this morning, it was 5:45 a.m. and the sun wasn't up yet. So I just got here, and now what I'm going to show you is how I get everything ready before I even get out in the water. And then we'll get to some fishing. So there will be some fishing. But let's get to it. All right, so first and foremost, very quickly, I need to get my kayak off the van. And what we use for our kayak loading, for those of you that haven't seen it before, is a kayak rack from Malone. And it's a 2-post kayak rack. I can put 2 kayaks on top of the van, one on either side, and it's strapped down on those hooks. And when I'm out here solo, I only have to do it with one, which is nice. And basically, to unload this thing, all I got to do is take off these straps, take off the front and back one that are similar. So it's tied down on both the front and the back of the vehicle, as well as with these straps. Get it unloaded and put all the straps away. And it's interesting because I can load these kayaks myself on top of the van because they're so light. The Pelican Mission 100 is super light, and I can lift it above my head by myself. You cannot do that with most kayaks. So let's get to it. At a lake like this, typically it's about 3 trips from my van down to the kayak to get everything ready. If I'm at a place where it's a longer walk, I can use the kayak cart, and I just set everything up at the vehicle, and then I can cart it down. But in this case, the van's right there, so I can just walk it all down. The next step is to get all of this installed, and what I've got in here is my fish finder, my transducer with its cables, the batteries, and the battery pack. So I'll get that set up, and then I move on to the other bucket. All right, so here's all of my gear except for the fish finder. So up front here, I've got my rod. Today I'm using my light action rod with my PC Fun Carbon X2. I've got my life jacket with all of the attachments on it, the fish grips if I need them, the hook removers. I've got my gloves for sun protection. I've got my seat pad. Underneath the front there, I've got some extra things, some dry clothes, some sunscreen, some bug spray. Here's my little tackle box. This is all I bring for a tackle box, is one little box with a bunch of different lures in it, a spare reel, my camera bag, and my net. And that is my setup for today. All right, just before I get started, I forgot to mention a couple of other important things that are in this yellow bag that I keep in the bow of the boat. First and foremost, my med kit's in there, that little first aid kit that you've seen on some of my episodes. And then secondly, the snackle box, the snack of the day, and some water to keep hydrated. So got to have some food and water when you're out in the water that long. So all right, now I have everything. So now, normally what I would do once I get to this point is I would do an intro for the episode. but I've already done that. So the next thing to do is get out in the water and get fishing. And I'll show you a couple of extra things that I do while I'm fishing and some of the setup I have as well. And we'll see if we can get onto some fish today. So let's get on the water. Okay, so a bit of an update and some of my secrets for when I'm making these videos. I have now been fishing for about an hour, and I've actually caught 4 fish already. And that's because I'm sharing with you today, and some of you may know this, that on these trips that I go out, I actually sometimes film multiple episodes in the same trip. And the reason I do that is because I can't always get out fishing. Sometimes on weekends I have other commitments, or I'm sick, or something else comes up and I can't get out. And if I want to put out a video every Saturday, as many of you know that I do, I have to have some backup videos. And so I try sometimes to film additional episodes like I'm doing today. So today I'm trying to film 2 episodes. Sometimes I filmed up to 3 episodes in the same day, but that's pretty rare. Usually it's 2. And there are some days when I only film 1. But what I'm doing today is kind of giving you this behind the scenes look. And at the same time, I'm also filming the episode that you saw last week, which was me out fishing without any of my fish finding equipment. And the reason for that is because I forgot the right cable. So hopefully some of you watched that video and you'll know that I had already caught some fish, and most of them pretty tiny. And so I decided to switch over and start filming some more footage for this episode. This is a perfect example, you guys. This fish took me an hour to catch from the last time oh, and it went in the weeds. Did I lose it? Did I lose it? I don't know. It's not giving head shakes anymore, so I might have lost it. No, it's still on there. So as I was saying, that fish took me an hour to catch, and that's the stuff you don't usually see on the channel because I filter it out. The other thing is, another small one, I don't continuously film. Some people have asked me in the past, can they see more of the actual strikes? And occasionally I do when I'm casting or I'm trolling in a particularly hot area. I will show the strikes, but I don't continuously film because it eats up all my battery and my memory card. So I only typically film when I get a strike, unless I'm talking. So there we go. Now I wanted to say, this is what I'll show you. So I'm filming this real time. I've got the fish, I've taken the hook off. I need a photo for FishBrain, that's it. Now sometimes I'd film a short, this one I'm not going to, and then the release. So that's real time, how much time I typically try to keep these fish out of the water, that's it. And sometimes, this is the next fish, you guys, sometimes these fish hit right at the kayak, and I don't even have time to film much because they strike like this one did right beside the kayak. And there that one goes. That was my biggest of the day. So that's unfortunate, and you guys know the rules on angling spiders. If I don't touch the leader, that isn't a catch, so I missed that one. Okay, the other thing I wish I could share with you guys when I'm out fishing is just how much wildlife I see. And unfortunately, GoPros are not great at zoom. They are fantastic at close-up, high resolution, but at distance they are not great. And as an example, right in front of me in the distance, there's 2 coyotes standing in the water, chasing birds, and you probably can't even see them. They probably look like little dots, and even if I zoom in, the quality of that will not be super high. So that's unfortunate. And today's been particularly amazing for wildlife. I've seen Canada geese, I've seen ducks of all kinds, I've seen those coyotes, I've seen a beaver, a hawk, an eagle, pelicans. Yeah, that's just, you know, it's just unreal. And I always look at them and I go, oh, I should get a shot of that. And whenever I take the footage, just like I'm taking right now, usually it doesn't work out. Yet another, and I said the last one was number 7. I was wrong. It was number 6 because number 7 got off there before. So this would be number 7 if I can catch it. And this is probably my biggest of the day, the way it's pulling. I just have this feeling. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good one. This is finally a good fish. Finally a decent one. Took me a lot to catch this fish, but that one is a nice one for sure. And that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes you catch a whole bunch of small ones and then you get lucky and catch a decent one. This one is by far my biggest, twice the size of any fish I've caught today. And that's great. That's fantastic. I am not complaining. Look at that. There we go. There we go. That's even got some weight to it. That's a nice fish. That's a beauty. Very nice. So I'll show you guys how I film a short. Put the fish back in the water like this so it can breathe. And then get my camera set up with video, and then I record. Whoops, I'm going to start this one with me. All right, everybody, I just caught my 7th fish of the day here, and it was the best one of the day so far. So good morning, and the fish are biting. I'll show you this one. And here we are, close to 30. Beautiful fish. I haven't even got it unhooked yet. I'm going to get this one unhooked and get it released. Loving it. By the way, this one's probably a keeper. I'll measure it just to be just to check. But if I wanted to keep fish, I could probably keep this one. Oh, he's got, I didn't even notice that. Look at that, he's missing a chunk of his tail. That's a 27-inch pike. It has to be 24. So that's well over some of the ridiculous and annoying stuff that I don't typically show you guys. So I set my rod down and my hook got snagged on the carrying handle of my kayak. Now I had to come and beach myself so I can get out of the kayak, unhook it, and get back to fishing. All right, everybody, so for those of you that watched the previous episode, you would know that I finished that one with my 10th fish, and it happened to be my biggest of the day. This fish that's sitting here right next to me, 31 inches, and a very nice fish. And I said at the end of that video I was going to keep this one because you can keep one fish from this lake that's over 63 centimeters. This one's well over that. The challenge I have, and here's the behind the scenes stuff for this part, is I don't have my chain to put on the back of my kayak, my fish chain. I left it in the van by mistake. And so what I've done is I've taken everything out of my camera bag. I've put all of my camera gear in my other bag. And now I've got this bag and I'm going to turn it inside out. Why inside out, you might ask? Because I don't want fish slime all over the inside of my camera bag. And then I am going to put the pike, after I dispatch it, in this bag. I was just turning around to go back and load up, and I caught one. I got another one. This one's a little one. But I decided I was gonna go troll this whole thing, but you know what, with that fresh fish in there, I just decided, no, you know what, you guys, it's, whoa, right in the weeds, it's time to pack it up. So I am gonna troll back. I'm not gonna waste fishing opportunities, but there's number 11 for the day. Again, not a bad size, and something in that one's stomach too. I'm gonna call it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to troll along this edge, the remainder of this edge, off to the over the dam and then back into the area where the boat launch is, and call this one a day. I did catch another one. You can see the dam right in front of me here. This is a small one, really small one, and I was snagged in the weeds, and then it came out as I was pulling it out of the weeds. So there's fish number 12. Believe it, you guys, I got another one. This one's lucky number 13. And you can see I haven't gone very far. This one's a bigger one. For sure it's a bigger one. This is a nice fish. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's way better than the ones I've been catching today. And there it is, fish number 13. Close to 30 inches again. Beautiful fish. All right, everybody, I just got the kayak loaded up, basically in reverse of everything I did this morning. I got the van running with the air conditioning on, and I'm gonna get in there and get going. That's gonna do it. Man, great day of fishing, and really surprising actually. And I hope you guys enjoyed something a little bit different, which was just a sneak peek into the behind the scenes stuff in the videos of Angling Spiders, and a few, I guess, reveals on how things work. So, you know, I will be back to it shortly with another adventure. And until then, if you like the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe. And until next time, good fishing.